Anyway, I hope you guys are good. Let's do the intro quickly and just go straight into the topic of the day. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Perseverance Maremini, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self Love. If you're joining for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self love, and motivation. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing me. You are on Losing in Love podcast with Madam Speaker. I tried to be professional today and do the timer of the live way beforehand, so it's been here. And if you don't know what the topic is about, we are here to talk about a mother's resentment towards their children. This is not a new topic. If you see one of the pinned posts, especially on TikTok, you will see that there's an episode that we're going to be airing this coming Sunday of a lady by the name of Grace, who wrote a book called My Mother Hates Me. This is backdating to the time when we did a live of this nature last year, exactly this time, where people were sharing stories of how they don't have good relationships with their mothers. The reason why I'm doing this live, it's like a pre-brief type of thing. And I would highly encourage you to go and watch that episode as soon as it drops on Sunday. It's got two parts. Part one, it takes a sharp curve in the end that will require you to actually wait for part two. So both these parts, hey, Jesus, there's a lot going on there. A lot. But anyway, I've been seeing a lot of messages. Some were being sent to me directly, and some on the comment sections, of people just sharing their stories of their relationships with their mothers and how it's just one of those things that can never be spoken about, especially us as Black people. And I did try to address it briefly, where I did say that in a short video that I did yesterday, that when somebody commented and said some of these things mothers are, it's witchcraft, there's no way a mother can just hate their child. And my thing was that my concern on that was that how is it possible that when fathers hate their children, when fathers don't want to support their children, when fathers just behave in a certain way, we accept it as a norm to say, yo, this man is trash. But afani namadoda, when are they dying? Men were not created by God, as the video that we once did very recently, where we're talking about Casper, and I said men were not created by God, or men created by God, and that video just went viral. But basically, my issue there was that how is it so simple for us to make excuses for women when they are hating on their children or they're mistreating their children, and we say it must be witchcraft, because there's no way somebody can actually carry a child for 9 months and hate them. But when it comes to men, no, it's just straight up, they are trash when they hate on their children. Which for me, I feel like there's no balance there. We are too biased when it comes to that issue. So that's not acceptable. So I always advocate for what being good for the goose also being good for the gander, to say that the same way, that the same energy that we give to women or to men for their misbehavior and their treatment towards mothers, children, and whatever, we should give men the same as women, the same as well. We can't keep making excuses for anyone. And I feel like there's something that we need to break, which is so wrong, starting from the fact that we make excuses for men as women. We make excuses for our husbands, for our baby daddies, for their bad behavior. And then we go ahead and we treat our kids like trash. And then the kids must now make excuses for our bad behavior. Thank you, baby. You can close. Be careful. We go ahead and we make excuses for our parents for mistreating us. That is something that we need to talk about. This thing of saying that our parents are our gods and whatever, well, but hey, you know what, it's something that we need to talk about. We cannot shy away from talking about the hatement and the mistreatment that we as mothers are giving our children. Witness, my darling.
Good evening. How are you, Madam Speaker?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, my love? Let me just adjust the volume. I think it's a bit low this side. Just hold on for me. Okay, there we go. Talk to me, my darling. How are you?
I'm okay.
I'm also
we've
good.
we've had this discussion before with you. I think I was under a different handle. I was boss lady at the time.
Ooh, yes.
Yes. Regarding our mothers hating us.
Yeah.
So and I like today's angle, when you are saying, why are we making excuses when it's women, and we say they have been bewitched or something like that, because I think that's the same thing I went through. When I asked my grandmother to say, why does she hate me? She said, no, maybe isn't Ozabantu. And I said, but then she's allowing isn't Ozabantu. Why would you want to hate your own child? So yeah, I'm still on that string. Still have not really been part of the family for the past 2 years, because I'm actually avoiding that toxicity. Yeah.
Witness, my darling, for those who are only, most we grow every day, ne? There are some who were not there when you told your story in the first time. Maybe you can just briefly touch a bit on what actually happened, the relationship between you and your mom.
Right, it was just like that. I think for as much as I can remember, we had a very strange relationship from childhood until like a few years ago when I decided to cut her off. So basically, I think we thought something happened, something traumatic happened that caused her to actually hate me. But she hated me. She just couldn't stand me. She just used to say she wishes she could have flashed me. So I don't know what exactly happened. There were so many things. I think that she went through. And those things happened from when I was a child till I was an adult. We tried to get the issue resolved with my aunts, with my grandmothers, and she just didn't budge. Every time someone tried to intervene, she would tell them her child, she can do with me as she pleases. And the one thing I wanted to also add, I think we spoke about this. The one thing I also wanted to add is that other people will actually say that maybe we actually are very picky about what we choose. One thing about my mother, as bad as she was, you would never see that she hates me or she actually resents me. She dressed me well, she was taking good care of me in a way. But so it was like a bitter, sweet, situation where no one would actually, from a distance, look at you and feel and look and tell that you are being abused. Because you dress well. Your family, she tries to keep the family image intact as if everything is going well. So, narcissism, where and you go to good schools and people will ask you, why are you saying your mother hates you? If she hates you, why would she actually invest so much in you? So that's another point that people, I think, sometimes tend to miss, because you are taken care of. Therefore, it doesn't justify the fact that you say she hates me. I mean, she would actually say it. I remember when we went to counseling, because my dad passed away when I was 13. But before my dad passed away, he left, right, to go overseas. So when he left, my mom said, "Yeah, your dad is going. It's gonna be me and you." So she would literally just pick me up every morning. I remember there was a time when she would just put my head or half of my body under the bed and just hit me with my electric cords or anything. Like literally, randomly, I would have blue eyes as a child going to school. She had long nails like mine. So she would like literally just grab me. So I was always scared, I was just always scared. And I would go to school. And the teacher would say, "Why am I always scared? It looks like Nankandugulwa, And my friend would actually say, "Why don't you tell the teachers what's happening?" And every time I would tell her, she said, "You dare tell anyone. Uzohamba uhlale emaphoyiseni, futhi uzongibophisa, uzohamba uhlale emaphoyiseni, So it's that situation where you can't do, especially when you're still a child, you can't do a thing. So let's fast forward to me now growing up, right? You grow up and sometimes you want answers. So there was a time when I wanted answers to say, why, what happened? What did I do? And she would tell me that I harbor grudges. Why would I ask her? She was a parent and she did what she could or what she thought was good. She was disciplining me.
She doesn't see anything wrong with how she treated you.
No, there's absolutely nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. And then I spoke to, so this thing goes, one, there's resentment, and then there's also hatred, and then there's competition. Then we got to a point where, as an adult, a young adult, she would say things like she didn't get educated because of me. So she had me when she was 17, right? But fortunately, my dad got married to her. So I would go through it. Whatever that did not go well in her life, I would pay for it. So as an adult, I would get to a point where she said she never got educated because of me. So she resented me, and then there was now a matter of competition. Every time, like, you do something, she's just jealous. She just doesn't want you to see you progress. If you get something, she wants it. Like, even things like clothes. If you get something, she wants it. And then it goes on. So you understand, Wuti, it's not just something that you can deal with and sit down and talk about. It's a deep-rooted, without say, a psychological sickness or whatever.
Okay, just
Just
hold on
not
for
right.
me, these people.
So, as of 2 years ago, I decided to distance myself from the family, mainly because it gets to a point where, in fact, when I left, there was no quarrel or anything, but I had just decided that, she's just not happy for me in anything that I do. She just doesn't want to see me progress, and she has created this rift between me and my siblings. So there's them, and then there's me. Whatever they do in life, they are taught that whatever you do, you must be better than her. You must just put her to shame. So, that is why I decided, to actually just distance myself. And the hatred was now spilling over to my kids.
Yo.
See, how she treats my kids, and I said to myself, the bus stops right here, and I'm not going to let my kids go through what I've actually gone through.
Sure. When it comes to this whole thing of wanting people to see what they did to us, I think we speak about this all the time, to say that don't shove remorse down people's throats. Just because you know how people made you feel, it doesn't mean they'll get to a point where they understand how they made you feel and they're gonna feel any remorse for how they made you feel. And this thing goes a long way. It's also applicable in relationships, where you feel like somebody did you wrong, but they don't see. Yes, they understand what they did to you, but they're not apologetic for what they did to you. What does it say? Does it say you should stick around trying to force people to see reason to see what they actually did to you? Or does it mean that you move away from them? And the fact that it's the same, like what you're saying about your mom, to say she's saying what she did, what she thought was best. She's not apologetic about how she did. If she was given a chance to do it all over again, she would still raise you the same way that she raised you. So then that doesn't mean that you have to linger around people like that. You need to move away from such people. And now when you're seeing the same thing happening to your children must now have the same traumas that you've had, and that's not acceptable.
Yeah. No, you have to move away because, like, they don't see it, and it's not time. And the longer she doesn't see it, the more damage it will do to me. I spent, I think, most of my young adult years battling with my identity because I so badly wanted her to love me at that time. So I was still trying to force her. I was forcing her to say, no, you must love me. I am your daughter. You are my mother. So I spent so much of my time trying to actually get her to love me, to a point where I would do so many things. Yes, I would do them for my mom, but I would also, I think in a way, I was just trying to belong. I was trying to buy the love. I was trying to fit in. And you never do. When someone doesn't like you and someone doesn't have it in their heart to actually love you, they're not going to love you. And that's what happened with her.
Yeah.
And I think that's what actually hurt me the most. And it damaged me. You could be flourishing in your career, but if that aspect of your life is not, it is actually taking over, you even forget that you have so much going for yourself, and you focus on this one thing, wanting to belong. And that's what I did. I think that's what I did. I then, went into this very self-sabotaging, pattern where I'm actually good at what I'm doing, but now and then I didn't feel I was good enough. I didn't feel, I would be distracted.
Yeah. Yo, the danger of this thing, ne? I think this is probably what guys like. Trust me, there's absolutely nothing that I do which is not from the heart or which is not laid in my heart so strongly. You see, now, like for example, I've been saying that this coming weekend we are having an event. It's mothers must heal, bring your children so that the children can have fun, and also we learn how to heal. Take your healing, but take your children with you. I think the one thing that people maybe will never understand why I'm doing that specifically in this season is that um, a mother who is not healed or a mother who is healing alone and leaving the children behind, the cycle continues. The cycle continues. The children also get to suffer that. Now, when you are coming from a household where the mother resents you for whatever reason, she despises you for whatever reason, and you spend most of your time trying to fit in, you now become a people pleaser, you now trying to buy people's love. Do you know what that does to you when you're an adult and you get into relationships? You take that same energy with you into relationships. You get into relationships, you're trying to please this man, you're trying to buy love. Like everywhere you go, you know that love is for sale. There's no free love. You know that because I've been working hard to get the love from my childhood, I'm still gonna work hard to get the love even in relationships. You get there, you see there, that's where it really gets bad. There's no returning from that. You get into relationships, your relationships are always going to be messed up because they are feeding from you being that people pleaser that you were when you were growing up. So the importance of us now then saying we want to heal and make sure that our kids never suffer the same things that we are suffering is so that in the next relationships, because that thing, it doesn't just, you don't wake up in the morning and it disappears. Like,
No, it doesn't.
what would you say it was your point of, like, okay, this is my turning point where you realize that no, this is actually what caused all of this is that my mother never loved me and I need to take a U-turn from here.
I think because it was actually hindering my healing process.
Okay.
The more I stayed close to her, there were so many things that would trigger me. And I also bet kids that are depressed. And I learned that later that no, it's hereditary, so they actually pick it up from you. And now you must start working, twice as much to heal yourself and heal these kids. And, because you don't want the cycle to actually continue. So it just really, when you get to that point and you say, I'm such a whole person, but in a way there's a void, and it took so many years. And I think for me it was that the fact that there were so many things that I should have done at a younger age, because I started my career then and I was actually great. But because I did not have that support system, I became, like I said, I became very I sabotage my success in every way possible. So I don't want that for my kids. I really don't want that for my kids. I don't want the reputation of what happened to me. I don't want them to feel like they don't belong in this world. I don't want them to actually not understand who they are. What is their essence, and so that's the one thing I think for me that made me turn things around to say I want to create a better environment for them. I want to create a warm home for them. I want to create good and strong bonds for them. And I want to be there for my kids, and I want them to know that I love them. I never want for a second for them to doubt that I love them. Whether they're doing good or whether they're doing bad. So I just wanted to be there for my kids, and I wanted to be everything I did not have for them.
Sis, I feel like because we are coming from a generation where speaking, for us as kids, it was not as possible as it is now for our kids. Like our kids will tell us our news. I spoke to a lady during the day. Like that's why I'm saying that the reason why I literally had to do this live was because of the flooded messages that were coming in with people saying that, my mom hated me, my mom still hates me. I had to distance myself from my mom's hatred towards me. I spoke to a lady today, and she was just sharing with me how um when she's got a good father, her dad is a great dad, but the dad found out late. when she was now in her adulthood, that she was suffering it right under his nose because they were staying in one household. So
Yeah.
now when they are older and she's older, she's distanced herself from her mother, who has no remorse, by the way. Like, guys, women are not angels, guys. Women are not angels. If ever, like, it's fine. I know somebody's waiting for to screen record one. I know. I heard that people screen record my stuff. I know somebody's waiting for me to screen record a part where I'll be talking about as if I'm not siding with women so that they can use it and match it together with another piece and say she's claiming she stands for women. Women are not angels, my sister, because um these people, when they now abuse you for whatever reason, let's say maybe she abused the child because she was being abused by her husband, they have no remorse. I've never seen such vile people like women. Like, women have no remorse. A child that you literally gave birth to, you mistreat her, and when you get to a point where you need to confront the situation, you tell her, then what? I should have drank a morning after pill. I should have vomited you. What are you gonna do? So you should be thanking me for life that I actually carried you the whole 9 months. Like, how do you carry a child for 9 months and push them out and just hate them like that? Like, how possible is it? So she was saying to me that she found out the dad, is saying to her, why didn't you tell me all this time that this is how your mother has been treating you? Because we could have solved it. Because now it's already too late. She's gotten to a point where she doesn't even want to have a relationship with her mother. And the women, in most cases, we sit on top of these things. And the one other thing that she mentioned, which is very, very important, is how we always use the Bible to manipulate. No, guys, there is no one who will manipulate you like a prayer warrior. A woman who knows, they will treat you like trash because they know the Bible cover to cover in the beginning and amen. They know it. And whenever you open your mouth as a child, they will quote a scripture for you. I'm telling you, you are doomed. If you have a mother who knows the Bible in and out and she knows how she can twig it around for it to actually favor her, you are doomed for the rest of your life.
Mine didn't know the Bible. Well, I don't know. Fortunately, unfortunately, mine wasn't. But the one Bible that or verse, or I think one statement she actually used to manipulate me with was that she's my worldly God. There is no one above her. God entrusted her with me, so no one can ever do anything, so like you have no chance. You can scream all you want, no. And fortunately, I was going to a Catholic school, so sometimes I would actually I would tell, the people there, because they would see me coming to church alone, and they would actually try to come and talk to my mom. Like my mom, like, listen, also you're bringing a crowd for me now. Just straight up.
And it will be pointless for you to even share with them in the future because you're not going to get help.
I remember this lady who was my sponsor. So in the Catholic religion, you have to have a sponsor or like a mentor, someone who's going to be there throughout the whole journey when you go through the catechism. That woman came, like, I thought she was strong. One, two, mama, you are poor. My mom saw at her, like, yeah.
She told her news.
Lalela. One, two, like,
yeah. And that's when you knew you were all alone in this world.
No. I was one, two, that woman, the confidence. And when you tell people, they're like, no, man, I must go see your mother. I must sit her down. Then you say, go. One, two, woman, I'm slow.
Yo, my sister. That's why I'm scared of people. Hey, I can never go fetch someone. When they say, please come, let's go fetch Spanbani, I'm like, yo, I'm not ready. They'll tell you your news.
So, even with the family, no one could ever stand my mom. I remember with some of my aunts, they would spend 6 months not talking to her. If they ever fetched her about what she's doing wrong, like, it's staring this, It's staring this.
But then, how is she now? How is the staring doing now, like today?
I don't know. I was talking to my sister. I was talking to one of my cousins just the other day. She was telling me, Bali, I think it hurts her so much, but she doesn't want to talk about it. I think the fact that you're not there hurts her. As much as she hates me, and I feel that there was a part of her that relied on me, that sort of loved me. So with me not being around, you know, there are things like she knows there's certain things that she could rely on me on. So there's so there are times when my cousin was saying, like, you can see that she misses you. It's just that I feel like as well, if I was in her position, when you do something and you think you are right, and then you get to this point where you are old, and now you can't change the things, can't turn things around, but at the very same time you don't want to accept what you've done wrong. So what you do is that you just continue, so that no one holds you accountable. So she doesn't want to be held accountable. She doesn't want to reflect on everything that she has done, and that's it, and that's about it. She just doesn't want to.
Yo, yeah, ne. You know what I think, ne? Excuse me. What I think about people, and this for me, like, it's in general, it's everywhere. It's not even about mother-daughter relationship. I feel like people will always miss what you were useful for in their lives.
Yes.
And it says nothing about you as a person in general, that's why even like, that's why, I mean, I am so much against things like your love bags, because I feel like when people showed you, no, 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 you are not the one, they will always come back to you when they miss elements of you that they were benefiting from those elements. So even with your mom, of course she's gonna miss some of the things that you were doing for her, even though she knows that the whole package she does not want. She just literally wants one or two things there from that package. But it's a sad thing for her. It's a sad thing for her. And like, people don't understand how, when you distance yourself from toxic people, regardless of how related or blood related you are to them, it's a relief, guys. And it doesn't say just because you are staying away from them you have not healed. Guys, you don't know the relief that comes with having not to deal with someone who has been destroying you every single day. And you think, no, because you're not ready to forgive her, or you're not reconciling, then that means that you have not healed. It's not the case. I can really
And then
heal and want you away from me. You were saying?
on the point where this lady says the father wasn't aware, I also think that it was the same situation where my dad was also not aware, because my dad would leave at 6:30, and everything would be okay. As soon as my dad leaves, that's when she would start hitting me. And then when my dad comes back, I'm supposed to act proper. I'm supposed to act very like everything is hunky-dory and nothing is going wrong. Until this one day, she sent me to the shop, and then I lost 2 rand. I was going to buy eggs. So someone stole the money, and then I came back, and she was cooking, and she had this very long bread knife, and she hit me with it. And when she was hitting with it, the knife cut my hands, like badly. It cut both my hands, because I was trying to
Block her.
protect myself. So she hit me, and she didn't care. But then towards the time when she knew that my dad was coming back home, she cleaned me. She washed my hands, she put a bandage on, and then she said, I must not tell my dad. I must tell her that I got cut by a knife when I was actually cutting bread. So, and that's what I did. I mean, like, what can you say?
Because you're going to be stuck with her when your dad leaves the following day.
Exactly. So, and I said that, but my younger sister told her, no, and then they got into, a bit of an argument. Then the next day, you are causing a rift between me and my dad. Shaila log. Next day, you are causing tension between you and your dad. And then I remember when I was in matric, after my dad had passed on, I tried to commit suicide, and then went to therapy. Then the therapist asked me, how was the relationship with both my parents? And I said to the therapist, no, I was more closer to my dad than to my mom, and it actually shows. Do you know that when you got home, I got asked, what did you mean you were closer to your dad? I slept with your dad. What did you mean you were closer to your dad? what? Closer kanjani? I'm the wife. When I closer to your dad, kanjani?
She's like, you are competing with her for her husband. Hi, Bo. Yo, hi, Shem. You know what? That statement also is similar to the one of the story which was going to be shared on Sunday on the Safe Space Chess podcast, where the lady was saying that, Grace was saying that her mom would say, "Yeri indoda yam, indoda yam le. This is it's my man." Like, bruh, there are so many side chicks you should be fighting on the streets. You want to fight me, your daughter, for your husband, when there are so many side chicks who tell him, like, what the hell is wrong with these people? You know? Oh, hi, Shem, it's so sad.
It is.
It's sad. But how do you like, tell me, my sister, somebody is watching right now. They are having this relationship with their mother for whatever reason that is not working out. How do you overcome and still be standing strong today, the way that you are today? How do you do that?
First and foremost, you must want. I think you must want peace for yourself. I think that's the most important thing. Like, living in chaos is not nice. Living in chaos is not nice. Sometimes some people don't live in chaos only because they're hated by mothers, but they come from abusive families where there's always violence and stuff. You need to want peace for yourself, because other people actually get swallowed by this toxicity and they become toxic parents as well. So you must want peace for yourself. I think that's the first thing that you have to want. You have to desire peace. When you desire peace, I think that's when you're going to work yourself out of that situation. You're going to try and create a peaceful atmosphere around yourself with people that you're going to surround yourself with people, that bring peace, that bring calm to your life. That's the first thing that you want. I craved peace so much. I so much so craved peace in my life. I wanted to have a peaceful life. I wanted to just, not be in an environment where when my mom opens the door, I don't know what I would have done wrong. We don't know what's going to happen. So that's one thing that I wanted for myself. I so much wanted peace. I just wanted a happy family. And you sometimes have to work through it, because I stayed at home, even though I knew that was not a conducive environment. But I knew that the only way for me to actually get out of that environment, and permanently so, was to study, because it happened as a child. So for me, I just decided that for me to actually be able to get out of this, I really have to study, and I really have to find a job and create that environment for myself. It's not always easy, but for some reason, God does bring people, whether it be a teacher, it be your fellow student, to say, one day it's going to get better. So never lose hope. Always, be hopeful to say this will come to pass, and this will end at some point. So that was the first thing. I just wanted to get out of my family home. I just wanted to live a life with other people, and I studied. For me, I would say there's no other one. There's no other option. There's no other magic stick or magic wand that you say. You have to study. You have to create a very close relationship with God, because you have to hold on to something. When I say hope, you have to hang on to something. And those are the two anchors. The fact that I was studying and I knew that God would never leave me in that situation were one of the two things that, honestly speaking, got me out. And the moment, I passed matric, I knew that I stood a better chance to leave my mother, even though I'm not going to leave it on a full-time basis, but I can, move on and progress at a tertiary level. And then, so basically, it was a step-by-step, where I knew that I'm not going to automatically come out of the situation. Some days I would feel like I want to be a street kid and go and stay in the streets. But would that help me? Would that help the cause? No, it wouldn't. It would make things worse. In fact, it would give her leverage to say, she can't be controlled.
Sure, I'm seeing.
Honestly, if I failed, it would give her leverage to say, you see, that's why I was treating her like that.
Yeah.
That's why I was treating her like that.
So you had to prove her wrong. You know,
I
so
had to
certain.
prove her wrong
Yeah.
with whatever it took. I decided that I want to make a success of my life and get out of here. That is the only way I can. Because none of my aunts, none of my relatives wanted to take me in. Even if I could run away, no one would take me in.
Because they're scared of the steering.
Yes.
Yo, Jesus. You're breaking a bit, my darling.
Yeah, when I stayed at home, right, and I would still compare my aunts
I can
work
barely hear
hard.
you. I can barely hear you.
Can keep now.
Okay, you can try?
Is it fine now?
Yeah, try speaking. Let's hear.
Okay. So they even as him and still here.
It's not working, babes. It's not working. You're still breaking.
Let me leave and come back.
Okay, cool. No problem. Yeah, there's a bit of a delay there coming in from Witness. She's going to try exit, go offline, and then come back again and request so that she can just wrap it up. I'm seeing the comments coming in also on YouTube as well. I see your comments, guys, saying that it's been 7 years of no contact. This is so sad, you know, but for the sake of your well-being, which is something that we never really looked into, it's important that you do that for yourself. Hey, darling, you back? Let's hear if you are audible now.
Yeah, let's hope it's better now.
Okay, cool. I can hear you now.
So one of my older sister used to say to me, please work hard, buy yourself a house and leave. Like, and so when she says something, they would agree with her. Or they would call her, please just buy your own house and leave her.
Sure. Yeah, no, so that means, and also what you are mentioning now is applicable in a lot of areas of our lives, you know, even in relationships in general, to say, listen, sometimes having an education and having some sort of income, it's the only thing that can bail you out of situations that, you know what, nobody's coming to get you from those situations. So you need to get education for yourself. You need to stand on your own feet so that you can protect yourself from any harm coming from any direction, not only just coming from mothers.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Oh man, thank you so much, Witness, for sharing with us.
Is asking me where am can I just respond to Tats?
Yes.
She's asking me where am I emotionally. I'm in a very health space. Emotionally, I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking care of my kids. I'm avoiding anything that would trigger me. But I think I've done enough work to say that I understand that there's nothing I can do to change her. There's nothing I can do to change the situation. It is what it is. I'm only just working on for myself. I'm working on my kids' emotional state of being, and that's it. Hi, good evening. Good evening,
Hi, Tats.
Family. Good evening. Hi. I'm glad you came up. I really have a pinch of asking you questions. Reason being that what you are saying, it's something that, Madam Speaker, let me honor you first for bringing up this topic. I'm not sure if it's the echo is on my side or on.
I think it's on
Witness's
Witness's side.
Try to mute Witness. Let's see.
Okay, cool. There we go.
How am I?
Good.
All right. Yeah, so the reason why I'm saying that we are bringing a topic that we really need to discuss. Currently, we are having parents who are victims of the trauma that they got from their parents. We are talking about parents who are saying that my father did this, my mom this, siblings hatred here and there. But at the same time, the parents that we are talking about, they are the carrier of the anger and the hatred that they are transferring to their kids. And then what I wanted to ask a witness as a follow-up question is that where is she into making sure that you protect your kids and you make sure that they are well equipped for themselves? Because there is one thing when Madam Speaker, that I can tell you is that going through this process, you are an outskirt already. so is the product that would come out. It's the same thing if you try to take an orange and mix it with a lemon, then it gives you lemonade. And then now this food would be lemonade forever until somebody changes it to something else. And we would not call that one a lemonade or an orange or lemon. That means it would be the fourth generation of something else. So what I am asking is that, what is it that you are doing for you to, what's this thing? I'll tell you now. For you to equip the nitrates that you have now that are blooming from your perkisi and your apple. Because of these two would never fall back to the peaches or to the apples. I'm not sure if you get me.
I hear you.
If it's not clear, please rephrase it for her. Yeah.
Witness?
I hear you, Tabs, and I'm doing the best that I think I can. One, I went to counseling myself, and two, both of my kids are actually undergoing counseling. And sometimes I do pick up traces of some of my traits, the anger, I see it, and that's why I actually invested in taking them for counseling, because I want them to be better citizens. I want in the communities that they live in, and the what do you call this? Their relationship with God as well. I think that's one of the things that I've actually engraved in them, and just being human and being able to communicate freely. I've created that environment of being able to communicate freely. Okay. Okay, thanks a lot. I think I am answered, Madam Speaker. Okay. But before I could go down, Madam Speaker, we are coming from broken families, most of us, and then coming from broken families. And the other thing is that there is no perfect family because of there is no formula of having a family. On the ground, what triggered me, I've seen somebody posting that, no, did you go to the root cause of the problem? Madam Speaker, I have a person very close to me who gave birth to a child, and then he left the child to find work. And then she was very young. The father was never there. He's a deadbeat. And then she got married again. No, not again. She got married, had kids there. The kids in that marriage are the trophy, which is what is mostly happening to us. And now that I am working as a child that comes out of wedlock, I am taking care of the kids. But there is no one in the family, including your husband, as my mom, who is taking care of me emotionally. I am telling you today, Madam Speaker, when you speak to that lady and you say that, but now your demands are very high for the poor child. You would say, but this is my child. This is my child. If I send you the record, Madam Speaker, you will hear what this is coming out of reach. I don't even want to discuss it. I can even insult the person and do as I wish with the child. And here you are talking about a child who is vulnerable. The discussion the child had with my husband, it was that I really so wish I could have time with my mom. I thought me being here now, it will be the time that I could bond. Madam Speaker, the words that were taken out by our age mate here, which is the lady who is representing some of us here. She said, I don't even know when did it start that I have a child who is even out of my house. Instead of saying, congratulations, my child, you bought a house. Congratulations, my child, you found a job. Such things. Madam Speaker, I'm telling you that now it's a competition between the parent and the child. And now we are talking about witness mother. Well, even here where we are now, we are some of the product of those, or we are the mother of witness. Currently, the moment when you ask me if you want to validate my feelings of how I am feeling, you need to respect that I am unique, Madam Speaker. I can come to you and talk to you without saying hi. Because of that is the way I would communicate with you, and you allow me, and we don't have a problem. And somebody would come to you and say, "Ke kopa metsi," without saying hi, Madam Speaker, and you have a problem because of that is not how you want to relate with that person. So what I am saying is that relationship between a parent and a child, they are very, very unique, which is what we need to understand. We're not really the parents. I've got two kids. They are way, way different, Madam Speaker. The other one, like a tuba, but the other one, you say a word. The other one, over more traumatized. The other one, you had issues postnatal
Depression.
postnatal depression. These are some of the things that causes anger to us. The operation that did not heal for 6 weeks, or not even 6 weeks, 7 months or 8 months, the child who had autism in the process, the process of you going to hospital and coming back, the husband who was there. So what am I saying now? I'm saying that the parents, we need to get to a point where we start to relate to individual people and stop generalizing everybody.
Absolutely.
Because of now, when you say to me that, Taban, go to find out why your mother hates you, you are asking me to go to the person who never declared to me what is it that she went through. You might even find that she got pregnant with me. She didn't even know that she had me. She thought that she's done. Maybe she thought the womb was taken out, or the process where they cut the tubes, and that was never done. Or it was done, then it opened. Then you ask yourself today, and there's one thing, Madam Speaker, we are here, as we are here, we still have parents in here who are saying that I have a child who is staying with my mother. When it's your love going to nurture that child. Because the next moment when he comes, you are in competition with the child, and you want to treat him at the age of 11 years old that you left at home. You went into marriage and you leave the child there. That is part of the things that we are doing, and we call them nonsense culture. That is nonsense, Madam Speaker. Because of the poor child did not ask to come here on earth. You opened the womb, or the womb opened on its own, whatever you call it, and then you planted the seed there. You knew it. If you didn't know, then now you are pregnant with a seed that came in due to whatever rape or whatever. But heal and start taking care of the child. If you are not willing to heal, then do something about it. Because of now, Madam Speaker, I'm telling you, we are here. If you look at the comments at the bottom, you will realize that we are basically protecting the mother of witness. The mother of the lady who was talking on the other side, who is coming. I'm really, really waiting for the podcast to load.
Yo, that podcast will leave you shocked. We actually have 2 parts. Now, after part 1, your jaw will be on the floor. You'll wait for part 2.
Madam Speaker, this is the reality of the people we will be having there. They will be bringing the tears emoji there, and then not even dealing with themselves. And not even reflecting what is it that they do to their kids. As a mere thing, you hear now witnesses saying, my mom beat me with a knife.
And she said, I must tell my dad.
She once did that. The person I'm talking about, she once did that to us. You know, Madam Speaker, today, it seems as if when you say, but now I really feel bad for what you are doing to the child. Can you leave it a little bit? I think you are too harsh. You say, if you have those words in your mouth, then you are the little devil that is planting more devils on earth. Go to deal with that.
Hey, Jesus.
Because for you to
call us out, my sister.
I'm telling you, Madam Speaker, you know, we are not really talking about this thing. Because of they got pregnant for 9 months. That is the duty of your womb. And you don't just automatically fall pregnant. You willingly go there and get pregnant with expectation. Really pregnant because of you thought your relationship would stick in. Now that I did not become a good bond for your relationship, and the person left even when you saw her, no, you thought I'll be the bond. So I wasn't the bond, and then you start hating me. Some of the Madam Speaker are about the naming. In my father's side, there is favoritism. I mean, in my family, on whose name was the child given to.
Yo.
Ne?
Uh-huh.
Madam Speaker, that line, you would not identify it until you look at it with the realistic eyes. Ne? Even with the characters, you'll find that they relate Tabang to this, and then Tabang would work that way. And when you reflect, they're like, no, Mutawanga, he was like that.
Yeah.
This means that if you have given your child after the aunt who traumatized you, who took your things, who stole from you in your marriage, who was finding girlfriends, I can't know girlfriends. I created girlfriend. Baba creating the girlfriend to go. Then now you start hating the child because of Ibile Ureile the aunt who is I nearly used the right name. The aunt whose name is it's Salome. Then now you hate the Salome that you have in the house. But you name the child after that person. Can we go back and start dealing with those things? If you are not able to break the curse, who are you expecting to break the curse? You are planting the seed every day in the name of peace in my house. But you are not talking. You are not communicating. We are just mute. Haribui, Madam Speaker.
Yeah.
We are not talking about the issues that were our traumas and you don't even want in your generation.
Yeah.
And then later on, like, immediately, that is the first rejection you give me. As a child, I should be named after the person you hate.
Hey, they wanted my son to be named France. I'm like, not when I'm still alive. There's no France. I don't give birth to a France in 2014. No way.
Look, that is my name, Joe. That's my name.
Your name is
That's
France.
my name.
Your name is France.
Yes, ma'am. I'm telling you, and you did it very, very well, Madam Speaker. You know, I sat down with my parents. I sat down with my in-laws. That you know what, the Lord in the Bible say that name your child in such a way that you will praise the Lord. So none of my kids would be named after what I was going through, and they would not even be named after what somebody went through. And the other thing, if you did not praise the Lord while on earth, enough in such a way that I want to give my child your name, I will not do that. We are all sinners here until I see a saint that is worth for me to give the name.
Yeah.
If that time God was very fruitful to me,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yep.
And then honor that.
I hear you, my sister. There's still a lot of work that we need to do, but I do believe that with these platforms and these topics that we are having on a daily, one day at a time.
Madam Speaker, you know there is a difference between going to your life and talk and going back to the life and re-listening to what was being discussed. Or being here and going back and listen and start applying.
Yeah.
And taking it down. If you don't do that, then you must know that you are studying when because of your listening to the lecture talking.
Yeah.
But you not apply that in your life. So there would be many sessions that we will be having here, but we will never, you will never be able to practice it until you jot it down and start action in there.
Absolutely.
While you are forgiving yourself every day.
Absolutely.
Because I'm telling you, Madam Speaker, there are so many things. Favoritism, mogobana. Favoritism, comparison, yabana. We're doing it.
We are.
And it's hurting our kids. And if the child hears that when you like the other one because of she does this and the other one because the grades are good, that other one will start taking up the volume and that one will leave that one because of he's not excelling on it and find something to please you in order for you to be happy with them. So you're already bringing competition over. What happens when one fails?
When yourself with your own two hands, you are destroying your own children that you gave birth to, and then in the future you're expecting some miracle to happen for your kids to be united. How? When you planted the seed of division in the first place.
I'm telling you, Madam Sika, and there is one thing people who are saying that we are being hated in the family. We need to know, Madam Speaker, now I call it the Abraham root. That this means that I am born in that family, but I need to be raised somewhere. Because of Madam Speaker, if you take your kids home during the school holidays, and you bring all the kids to the ground, you will see now who is the most like, meaning that the same thing that you went through now is your kids are going through it. And you have sent them there to spend time there without preparing them emotionally.
Sure.
To say that my kids, I went through this, and that. They will be the rightful age to discuss it. But you need to tell them, do not expect this. When you leave me here, I am not here. Whatever you see, wherever you are, that would be what you would be getting. But I am here to support you. If you want me to pick you up, call me. I will do that.
No, I hear you, Taps. Please remind us, what topic are we having tomorrow? Because I have to wrap it up now. I have an interview in a few.
I don't know.
You don't know what we're talking about tomorrow?
I think the last time, what were we saying we're going to discuss?
Alright, you will tell me, and then I will put up the live notification. But for this one, I just wanted us to do a pre-brief of the episode that's coming this Sunday, which is parents hating their children and just the dynamics of all of that. But there's a topic that we're supposed to be discussing tomorrow, which we will we'll talk about it, and I'll put a thingy notification
just
thing
check. I think there's a lot of things that were
that we missed. I'll go check the live that we did before this one to remind myself which ones we said we're gonna touch on today or tomorrow, which is Thursday.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. I see you. I appreciate you.
Therapist and work on ourselves. If you can't find any here, it's one. Just come out. Cough out, communicate, talk to somebody, find a stranger, knock and talk to them, talk to your partner, talk to your kids, anybody. As long as you are enlightening something out of you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, my darling. I really appreciate you. And a big shout out to every guys. You know what? Now you won't believe this. We have 24 members on YouTube. 24 people who have literally just joined for membership. They're paying I think around 14 rand per month for that, just so the episode that we're airing this Sunday is already available for members only on YouTube. So that's just one of the perks, where you get to see the episode beforehand. So everybody else gets to watch it on Sunday, but already the members know by Sunday, part 2, because that episode of My Mother Hates Me, it's 2 parts. By Sunday, the second part will be uploaded for members only, for them to continue watching. But I know that people did not only just join for membership just so that they can watch content first. Some of them actually joined because they believe in the vision, they believe in the dream, and they just want to see me doing better, which is probably one of the reasons some of them even subscribed. So if you were not here on the previous live where I was saying thank you so much to every single person for actually subscribing and getting us to 100,000 subscribers. We are on 101 now, and a few. So we are growing in a rapid pace. Godspeed everything. I just want to say thank you to every single one of you, and also a big shout out to those that are actually joining in for membership. We shall see each other tomorrow. You will see with the live notice thingy. I will plan it beforehand. You will see it popping here on my YouTube. From time to time, you can just go there and check what I've put up there. And then we will see each other tomorrow at 7 o'clock, same time. And after that, we'll see each other. Also, an opinionated podcast. We're going to be having an episode, I think, tomorrow morning. But that is random, right? But the main one, it's tomorrow. We have it's Sunday. We have a skaka, of a story that it's not gonna wait for Sunday. We're gonna break it immediately when we get it, probably on Friday. We've got an exclusive on Friday. You should just look out for that one. It's one of those episodes where I've been asking people, should I bring this guest? Should I bring this guest? And you guys have been saying yes. So you should look out for that. I'll see you guys on the flip side. God bless you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Love you.